If you look at Wes Watson is creating a presentation. What is Wes Watson really doing? Lift weights, make an online coaching business. Or I'm not exactly sure what he teaches in business, but probably some good stuff. But it's his presentation around it that you've got this big, jacked, shaved head, big beard guy from jail screaming at you.
Nobody just wandered around and ended up at the top of Mount Everest. You have to start with you.
Where the presentation is so fucking crazy. Who wouldn't want that guy as your coach? I mean, come on. Anybody would want that guy as your coach. Because he'd be like, pull down that skirt, boy. We'll show you how we do it in real jail. And you would just go make millions. You literally would make millions if you hired that guy as your coach. How could you not become a millionaire with that guy as your coach? It's impossible. It's impossible. The second you hire him as your coach, you can be a millionaire. Why? Because you've got a giant man from jail covered in tattoos calling you a bitch. How could you not be a millionaire? It's impossible. It's literally impossible. How would you not be a millionaire with a giant man covered in tattoos, calling you a bitch, looking like he's ready to make you his fucking prison bitch? How would you not make money? I mean, literally, you either become a millionaire or you know that as soon as you drop the soap, what's gonna happen, right? So you're literally like, oh my God, if I drop, this guy's literally gonna drop the soap in front of me and he's gonna make me his prison bitch, or I'm gonna become a millionaire. It's impossible not to become a millionaire when Wes Watson is coaching you. It's impossible. So in the same way, why is that? It's not that I'm sure he's got a couple nice pieces to teach that are unique to him, but that's not the driving factor in Wes Watson. What is it?
It's the image that he portrays, so it's kind of like the halo effect all around him.
Yes, yeah, it's the build-up. If Wes Watson walked in here now, he would have swagger, presentation, but he looks like a weird motherfucker, right? It's like he's covered in tats, he's got the Richard Mille, the shaved head, he's fucking jacked, and you just walk in here and he fucking stand up here, he starts screaming at all of you, he'd scream his fucking lungs out, he'd start calling you out, he starts saying that he's rich, rare, and ripped, rich, ripped, and rare, you're not rich, ripped, and rare, you're a fucking bitch, he's the fucking man, and he's gonna change your fucking life. And you just be like, and you just start doing what the fuck he said. Part of American culture is good, and like me, and I'm one too, is goofy ass self-help gurus. Being a goofy-ass self-help guru. I'm a goofy-ass self-help guru. Sid is a goofy-ass self-help guru. Wes is a goofy-ass self-help guru. This is some goofy-ass shit. Do you understand? This is some goofy-ass shit. Because this magician shit is some goofy-ass shit. Are you for real? You're going to sit there going, oh, the vortex and the fucking inner space and time and blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to do this practice sleight of hand thing. But you go see a properly done sleight of hand, you will cry. You will cry, you will shake, you will convulse because you will be fucking hypnotized and all that the trick is the climax. That's it. That's like getting a girl to come, right? If the persona is there and the buildup is there, like I was saying with the ba 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 ba, it's getting the fluids moving, it's getting the blood moving, it's activating the mind, it's stimulating the mind. Most of the orgasm is psychological, guys. Most of attraction is psychological. All these guys that say you need to be super good looking to create attraction, they don't understand the psychology of tension and buildup and pulling back a little bit and anticipation. They don't know how to stimulate the mind. I think it was Voltaire who said, give me 15 minutes with any woman, I can talk away my face. That's what Wes is doing. That's what I'm doing. You're basically coming in there like some random coach. What if Wes was a commoditized coach? He comes in, he's like, okay, so here's my training plan. Here's my training plan. Okay, here's my training plan. Right? You do 3 sets of shoulders. You do some deadlifts. You become an online coach. You make your product blueprint. You do your cold traffic. You post some photos, right? That's commoditized. Look how bored you're already getting. You don't want a boring commoditized coach. You want a giant man with a shaved head from jail and jail tats to make you his bitch and force you to make millions. You know you want it. You know you want it. What I'm saying is his presentation is fucking money. Because his presentation is money, he will always be an 8-figure coach and probably eventually a 9-figure coach because of the buildup. Not because he's gonna tell you to do 3 sets of bench press. Okay? If you go out, you're like, well, I'm a doctor. I became a doctor. I got a nice watch. there's no presentation there. I understand that in my dating life, there has to be some kind of a presentation. I'm not afraid to look weird to the majority of people that might think I'm weird in order to resonate deeply with the 10% or 5% or 2% of people that would think my presentation is cool. If you do you know Wes Watson? If you did an imitation of Wes, you would sound better than even how you naturally sound. You actually would sound kind of watchable and listenable. But without the presentation, you can't listen all day. Great gurus, okay? Like I said, part of it, like in India, we have spiritual gurus, okay? Think about, in America, we have goofy-ass self-help gurus. India has goofy-ass spiritual gurus. America has goofy-ass self-help gurus, okay? So in other words, if you take a look at Sadhguru, right? Okay, do you guys know Sadhguru?
Every other creature is what it is simply because of what it does. But a human being can simply be.
Imagine Sadhguru without the turban and without the beard and like a dad outfit. Okay, take away the beard, she's got his chubby ass cheeks, right? Same as me. Take away the turban, he's bald. So now you have like this kind of balding dad guy who's like, the truth of the universe is presence. And you're like, who the fuck are you? Right? But the turban, man, just wear a fucking turban, grow a beard. Where do you think I got this idea? Grow a fucking beard. Anyone will eat your bullshit with a spoon. Right? Like, oh yeah, I am Sadhguru. Yes, I speak to alien. I work on the soil. I talk to Klaus Schwab. I am Sadhguru. I tell you, the secret to life is love. You're like, your brain fucking explodes, right? It's like the guru at the top of the mountain. You know, you invest, you get to the top of the mountain, you hike for a month. He's at the top of the fucking Bhutan mountain. You're like, guru, I hiked here for a month. Tell me the secret to life. And he goes, life is. And your mind goes, right? It's like the whole, in that one moment, he just looks at you deep in the eye. Life is. And like, because you're invested, and he coaxes investment by getting you to go to the top of the mountain, your mind, it will draw you in, and your mind will solve it for you. My favorite book by far is the Bible and the Gospels, the 4 Gospels. Well, when you look at Jesus, he teaches in parables, right? Why is the Sermon on the Mount the best sermon ever given in history? Because it's giving it to, it's like, you know, it's giving it to you in a way that you have to lean into it. If he just gives it to you, you're bored. You're bored. You can't get in it. You're like, oh, okay, be positive and be positive, be nice to people, and don't be a dipshit, right? If that's all that Jesus does, he goes, be nice to people, don't be a dipshit. Is that going to be the most important sermon ever delivered in human history? Fuck no, right? But if he gives it to you in parables to where you have to lean into it, you have to invest into it, that's coaxing investment. So then when you hear that exact line from the Sermon on the Mount, your mind explodes into an epiphany. It's like the epiphany is the orgasm, right? Well, in the same way in physical intimacy with your partner, if the persona is strong and there's a buildup there, it takes very, very little. It's like a keto. It's just like that. And it's so funny for me because, look, I can't speak for everyone I've ever been with, but, you know, the vast majority of intimate partners I've ever had, they go on and on and on. And it's so funny because you know that they've had sexual partners that had better cardio, that were in better shape, that did more, that did anything. But I understand that I'm not gonna be like that NFL player or NBA player they hooked up with. That's not gonna be me. So it's more about the persona. So I am optimized on persona, right? But again, like the guru at the top of the mountain that gives you that deep eye contact, deep, unwavering eye contact is another part of the presentation. That's another part of the guru shtick, is this deep, penetrating eye contact. It gives you this kind of all-knowing look. How do you get that? Everyone's like, oh my God, Owen, are you enlightened? No. I'm not enlightened. I jacked off before I got here. How am I enlightened? I drank a green tea boba that had too much sugar in it. I'm enlightened? No. I just read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and then I just studied the book. I just read it, and I went, oh, so if you just go like that on your breath, you get this weird penetrating stare, and then everyone thinks you're enlightened. It's a fucking gimmick. If I want to do the Wes Watson giving, okay, motherfuckers, I'll fuck your ass. I'm rich, strong, rare, motherfucker. I'm Wes Watson. Right? And everyone's like, oh my God, hand you all my money. That's really what this is. The penetrating stare. Oh my God, baby. You're like, yeah, right? You're like, yeah. You know, right? And they're like, oh my God, I've never met a man like you. What did you do? You just read The Power of Now for 3 minutes. That's all you did. You read The Power of Now, and then like, at the right moment, you went, oh. You like turn your back, and they're like, oh, right? And you're like, no. Yeah. You know, they're like, oh, right? And then you're like, and then you pull, right? You bite on the neck, like, oh, right? That's all that you're doing, right? You just lie there, and they're like, oh my God. And you're like, yes, baby. Yes. You know, you're like, yes, baby, come for me. Come for me. I'll come for you, daddy. I'll come for you, right? And then you're just like that on the ass. And they go, oh. Like that, right? It's just presentation. It's all on some dumb, goofy shit. But it fucking works. Okay? It fucking works. You know, like, he could have 100 times a better thing to share with you than Wes Watson, but you know you would fucking kill to have Wes Watson come up here and just start taking your head and bashing it in the table. Right? Imagine Wes just came in here. You're a bitch, you're a bitch, you're a bitch, you're a bitch, you're a bitch. You're like, yes, Wes, yes, I'll be a millionaire. Wes is like, who's gonna be a millionaire? You don't want that dick in your ass, do you? You don't want to know what happens when you drop the soap in here, mother. You're like, yes, Wes, yes, Wes, yes, Wes, yes, Wes, yes. Yes, I'll be a millionaire, Wes. And you will be a millionaire. It is impossible not to be a millionaire. Are you telling me the guy like Wes Watson, ready to make you drop the soap, you're not gonna be a millionaire? In what reality would you not? Okay? And even if you weren't making it, you just put the tip in, you know quickly you'd make your first $250,000 within like 1 week. With it, you'd put in the dick, Wes puts in the tip for 1 minute, you're like, no, please, please, please. And he's like, yes, yes, yes. You're like, millionaire, 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 millionaire. And you would do it. Because of presentation. Because of the fucking presentation. You know Eckhart Tolle.
There's a lot of nature here. I recommend taking walks in nature, looking at the trees, at the sky. There's a lake.
Eckhart, I love Eckhart. I go to every Eckhart Tolle event I can. He's like my spiritual mentor. When Eckhart comes in, he goes, welcome everyone for Eckhart Tolle. And don't clap for Eckhart because he's the guru. So clap with the fierceness of your presence. And then everyone goes dead quiet and Eckhart walks in and he and every movement is super fucking slow. Okay? And then he sits, and even as he's fucking, like, you think me getting a girl to come by, going, like that? You think that's on some goofy shit? This guy's like 98 years old. You pay him hundreds of dollars to look at him staring at a wall. Okay? And it's all amazing. And I will continue to give him all my money to stare at the wall. I want to give him more. I'm angry I can't give him more money. I want to give Wes some money. I do. I'm serious. I want Wes to be like, millionaire, millionaire. I'd be like, yes, daddy, yes. Okay? And, I'm already a millionaire. I'll probably become a billionaire. I want Wes to just take my head and just go, billionaire, billionaire. He's like, you want that tip? I'm like, no, please. Please, please. You're going to drop that soap, boy. Millionaire, boy. I'm like, no, please, Wes, please. Instant billions. Instant billions. It's impossible that you wouldn't. How would you not? Of course you would have billions because of the presentation, right? So Eckhart, he sits down, everyone's like, oh, it's Eckhart Tolle. Oh my goodness, right? They sit down. Okay, he sits down and then he looks at them. And then they're all like, and they're drawn in. They go, oh. And they get drawn in. He's like, and then he goes, and you're like, oh, Eckhart. Oh, you got Wes up your ass. You got fucking Eckhart. You're jacking off to Eckhart. Well, Wes is like, fuck, it's like a threesome of two dudes, like prison guy in the back and the guru on the front. You're like, Eckhart, show me the presence, Eckhart. Show me the presence. You're like, oh, right? Instantly becoming president of the moment and a billionaire, okay? As you have this like straight up gangbang done on you, okay? You're the middle spoon, and you're sitting there, and just instantly you're becoming president. Then he's like, and then he gets out the bell. He gets out a fuck. Okay, like my kid gets out a bell, nobody gives a fuck. I get out a bell, no one gives a fuck. Eckhart gets a bell, profits, right? It's money, right? It's like the bell gives the presents. And he goes, ding. And as he dings a goofy ass bell, you're like, be a billionaire, boy, yes, yes. Right, and then you come out there like, how was the Eckhart event? Amazing. It was amazing. Did you feel the presence? I felt the presence. I felt the present moment with Eckhart. The vortex opened and I felt the presence. And then I cried, I saw God. Eckhart got me to see God. Eckhart is your goofy ass grandpa that sits there looking at the fucking wall. Okay, like Sadhguru, like wearing a fucking turban, like, hello, I'm Sadhguru. I have accent. Imagine he didn't have an accent. He'd be like, hi there, I'm Steve. You should get in the now, bro. No money from that. There's no presentation there. There's no fucking presentation. But at the end of the day, when I'm doing my goofy ass sex shit, who is that for? Is that for me? That's for the girl. That ain't for me. That's for them. I don't need that to come. I don't need much to come, to be honest with you. Okay? 2 pump chump, c'est moi. So, okay, I don't need but 2 pumps. But that's because I'm a man. Warm hole, 2 pumps, profits. But if I'm speaking to a woman, may need something in her mind to be stimulated. Now you might go, oh, why can't she be like me? But you all know that as I'm talking to you now, you know how happy you are when I get in here to do this. You want me to keep doing this? You guys would rather I do Wes Watson, Eckhart Tolle, middle spoon threesome imitations all day than learn anything. You'd rather I do that. You'd rather I go, than actually teach you anything because it's entertaining. It's called presentation. Okay, so that is why guys who are not able to create attraction are goofy ass bitches because they don't have any presentation. They have no swagger. There's no fucking swag. Also, they want everybody's approval. See, you're trying to kind of play this tepid middle thing, right? Like, I'm the middle guy. You know, I'm like more of like a generalist. And so everyone will think I'm nice. I'm a generalist, okay? Then Wes Watson comes in and he's like, rich, rare, and what is it? Rich, rich, and rare, motherfucker. And then like 99% of people like, who the fuck is this guy? Turn him off. And then 1% of people go, pay this man. Pay this man. Somebody who's the right fit that resonates with it, right? So in the same way, like me, some goofy ass balding ginger in a fucking wheelchair with autism, obviously I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I understand that. But if I meet enough people, I'm gonna meet somebody where I am their cup of tea. So you've got to say, so stop trying to appeal to everybody. See, all that mainstream shit was from the 80s when you didn't have micro niches and what's called the long tail phenomenon. Say that word. The long tail phenomenon. Okay, do you guys know what that is? Basically, you know how Michael Jackson Thriller sold 30 million albums? Why did Michael Jackson Thriller sell 30 million? 50 Cent sold, like with Get Rich or Die Trying, maybe like 10 or 11 million. Why is there now none of those 30 million albums anymore? Is there less music being consumed? No. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. No, there's not. So what happened? What's the long tail phenomenon?
There's more music being made.
There's more music being made, but not just that. Now, if you want, you can look up your random KM FDM shit from like the 90s done on a computer. You can listen to that. You can listen to some weird unknown rapper, weird unknown EDM. So you can find your niche of what you want. So what the internet allows for is that everyone can find their niche. Likewise, meeting a lot of people out, you can just go meet everybody. And if you meet 2 people in a weekend that think you're amazing, and one of them winds up going to the next level with you, you've now got 50 people in your circle within 1 year. It's too many to even keep track of just because you went and you worked volume and you were truly yourself. So the thing is, the only difference between me and you is I will go out, I will be absolutely and truly myself at the highest level. But when I say be myself, what it means is that for my presentation, I tap into my mind. I go inside my mind and I say, how would I be when I'm 5 years old? How would I be when I'm 5? Do you remember when you're 5 and you just did what you wanted to do? You remember that? You just did what the fuck you wanted to do. Do you remember this shit? How fun was that back when you just did what you wanted? You expressed how you wanted. You sang how you wanted. You wore 2 left shoes. You didn't give a fuck. My kids, my son Tristan, who's 5, will steal my clothes. He'll have like the same, like 2 different shoes that are too big for him, put on a bunch of my clothes, put a backwards hat on, and he comes out like he's the fucking man, right? He just storms the room. I'm the fucking man. Look at this shit. I'm fucking Tristan Cook, bitch. I'm the fucking man, right? It was before he started to, you know, shave himself down and kind of, you know, like screw off all the edges to be appealing to everybody. He was truly himself. I want my kids not to lose that, okay? So the highest level people, like real 10s, especially as a man, what a real 10 is somebody who speaks a little, they move different, they speak a little different, and they come correct. What that means, they come correct. By the way, imagine Wes watching this video. He's gonna be like, what the fuck was this shit? Now, if I saw a video of this, I'd be like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? You know, like talking about like fucking threesomes and just dropping the soap and shit. You know, so anyway, he's gonna see, he's like, look at this fucker. I hate this motherfucker. But the point is like, okay, it's like, when I'm joking like that in my mind, I'm not public speaking to you. I don't do public speaking. What I do is removal of the mask. I never, ever, ever public speak. Public speaking is like this. Hello. I am Owen, and my message here today is that everyone should be their real self. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening to my public service announcement. That is how people public speak. It's a persona, it's a shtick, and it sucks. Instead, what you do is you go back to how you were when you were 5 years old. You rip off the mask and you show the real you. Look, that me that you see, like that you're kind of clowning about, but I love it. Like, hey guys, it's fucking Owen and blah, blah. That's how I think in my head. I'm showing you how I really think. This is how I really think. When I look at other gurus, I think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like the jokes that I'm making, that's the kind of shit that's in my head. Everybody has that. Although to be fair, if you've had it stolen from you by trying to fit in with the mass, then what winds up happening is you wind up losing some of that. So you've got to go, so when you're in the group think, your mind doesn't allow you to seek accuracy. It only seeks consensus reality so you can be safe in the tribe. $1 million piece I just gave you. Like, $1 million to $1 billion piece I just gave you. Repeat what I just said there because that's a $1 billion piece. $1 billion piece, repeat it. I bet you can't, you know what I'm saying, repeat it? It's so high paradigm that your mind will block you from it. It's so high paradigm, your mind will block you from it. Once you have that one epiphany is worth so much money that your mind will block you from letting it land. What did I say? A real confident person or somebody with a spiritual relationship to God who doesn't feel that when the body dies, they die, is scanning for accuracy. They're looking into situations and they're saying, what is the accurate feedback? What is the real truth? Somebody who is not confident with themselves is seeking consensus reality. They are seeking to parrot back what the tribe wants them to parrot back because they are afraid to use their own 2 eyes to see the world. Because they're afraid that they would be ostracized from the tribe and killed, so they have submitted to the tribe. They're living in fear. If you're living in fear, you won't have your own natural personality. You'll have a very flat personality without anything to show. So the way that you gain status is by beginning to see the world with your own eyes and beginning to trust your sense of humor. You have a sense of humor. You have a sense of humor that is unique to you. You have a perspective that is unique to you. You have a point of view that is unique to you. It's your RAS, reticular activation system, that looks into reality and kind of sees it and feels it out and catches kind of a vibe, right? So you've got to begin to actually feel that shit out. And when you do, you'll start to become at peace with yourself and how you see the world. And if you just want to share it, there's no more public speaking, and there's certainly no more shtick if you're meeting somebody out at a bar club and maybe creating attraction or socializing. There's no more shtick. I don't do public speaking. I don't pick anybody up. I'm just me. I just take this thing that's me, I turn it 45 degrees to the right, and I have a sort of an energetic radius that tends to project out. I go in my little super cyan mode, even if it's chill that day. The energy projects out and I engage. I don't open. I don't have an opening line if I'm socializing. I simply begin to talk. That's it. I just begin to free associate and talk And that is all. Nothing but that. What you're seeing me doing here, where I'm doing the Wes and Eckhart Tolle joke, that is a free associative joke, and I would do other free associative jokes. I would imitate myself. I would certainly imitate them. 90% of what I do is imitating them. A lot of time off the open. Imitating is so powerful because it disarms people. It disarms them and shows them that you can be fun. Imitate them, imitate yourself. You take away the sheen of tension. The sheen of shtick, this bullshit, bitch-ass, goofy shtick, and you get rid of all of it, and you can truly be yourself with that other person. That's when things happen quick, because now you're being who you really want to be, and if maybe the two of you want to have a little bit of fun together, you're going to do it. Maybe if the two of you want to maybe make a purchase, you're going to do it. You're going to do that quick, because you've removed the layer in the shtick, right? A guy like Wes, why are you going to buy with him? Because he's being him. This is who he is. I know who this man is. He's fucking crazy, but that's who he is. Of course you're going to buy from him. Eckhart Tolle, of course you're going to buy from him, because you know who he is. Do you guys know I've done over $100 million in sales just out of my mouth? Just by me speaking, I've done over 100 million in sales. As a joke, when I wait for Ubers, I'll try to make 5K sales, not even because it profits me. I run a successful enough business that even 5K for me, if I had to spend half an hour getting it, I lost money in my hour-to-hour pay. But I will still make 5K sales on the street because I can get people to sell that to me. So I'll do 5K sales. 5K, 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 5K. Sometimes I do 2K. Usually I do about 5K. Off the street in under 10 minutes or less. Why am I able to do a transaction of 5K in 10 minutes or less? Why do you think?
You know sales.
Being who you are, congruent, totally, utterly upfront, no mask, not hiding, not putting on any aspersions, just straight up, this is me, bitch. This is me, bitch. The guys that you see that have the most dating success are frighteningly congruent, frighteningly themselves. Okay, a guy like Lil Wayne, as an example, he's a short little dude with a wheezy voice. How many people would say a short guy with a wheezy voice is at a disadvantage? When he talks, he's like, yeah, like that, right? It's wheezy, baby. It's wheezy, baby. Imagine you talk like that, you'd be like, I can never say hi to someone for the rest of my life. I can never leave my house. It's wheezy, baby. Wheezy, wheezy F, baby. Whatever he says, right? I don't know what I'm saying this way. So, right? It's wheezy, right? That's how he's talking in his mind. It's wheezy. That's how he's talking. So he's showing you how he's talking. But see, Lil Wayne, if you look at him, he has what's called, he's high in what's called disagreeability. Look at Wes. I mean, talk about disagreeable, right? Wes, you're like, I have an excuse. He's like, no, highly disagreeable. What does high disagreeability mean? It doesn't mean you can't be collaborative. It means that you see the world through your own eyes, so you don't fall into somebody else's frame easily. If you don't fall into other people's frames easily, like, you think if Lil Wayne was here, he'd be intimidated by my public speaking? Hell no. Hell no. Would Lil Wayne stand beside me and be intimidated by me public speaking if we were tag teaming the room? No. Would Wes Watson be intimidated by me public speaking if we're tag teaming the room? No. Would he actually maybe gain energy from it? He'd be like, this motherfucker's hilarious. And then he'd start banging it out, right? He'd gain energy. But a lot of you guys in this room, if I'm up here, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna try to keep up with me. You're like, okay, how can I be funny or have swag or do imitation? So you're gonna create a comparison to me? No. What you've gotta do is you've gotta go into your own lane. You've gotta know what your lane is and then ride in that lane. Now, if you can do that, your communication is gonna be retarded, ridiculous, amazing, awesome, and the shit. But you've gotta ride in that lane. So the keys are, step one, see the world through your own eyes. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you how to think. Step two, have your own way of seeing the world, your own perspective. Learn from experts. I pay hundreds of thousands a year in mentors, myself. Hundreds of thousands a year in mentors. I'm often at 7 figures plus in mentors a year. I like help. But even those mentors, okay, these are guys like my vocal coach, Coach Eminem, Prince, Michael Jackson. That's my vocal coach, Roger Love. But even when Roger Love teaches me, at the end of the day, whose responsibility is it ultimately to dictate how I'm gonna use my voice? It's still gotta be me. So I'm gonna learn from experts, but it's still gotta be me, motherfucker. It's still on me. So when I'm looking at Roger, I'm gonna give him the role of teacher, But I don't place him above me psychologically. I just think there's an area that he spent decades, and I want him to catch me up to speed. That's it. Okay? I want to buy his decades. The decades that he put in, I want to buy them. What I do is I go right to the top and I back up the fucking Brinks truck. Who can take the Brinks truck? Who can I pay to save me time? I want to buy back my time. I don't want to fuck around, try to reinvent the fucking wheel. If Roger's got to spend 30 years to get his voice down, I'm not going to sit there dicking around inventing the fucking wheel. What I got to pay this man to get him one-on-one? That guy's not cheap. I got to get Roger one-on-one. I got to get his time. What I got to pay you? Tell me your number and I'll double it. Why do I want to double it? See, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to negotiate down. Fuck negotiating down. Why don't you negotiate up? No one ever thinks of that. You want 10K? What do you give me for 20? You want 20? What do you give me for 40? Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, I don't have that kind of money. You're not there yet. That's fine. That's okay. But it's the same thing. You know, you go to a bar, you bribe your way in with the bouncer. Why don't you ever think bribe him on the way out? How dumb are you not to think of that? Give him another bump on the way out. What's that going to do when you come back? You're going to separate yourself. You should want to pay people enough that they're scared to lose you as a client. Okay, remember, there's a difference, guys, between goods and services. Say that. Goods. Services. Goods, you negotiate down or up? Down. Services, you negotiate down or up? Usually up. But people never think about that. Because it's not like you're buying a baseball from Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, I got the ball for the same price. You're buying that person's effort and willingness to engage you. You want to get it where whoever you're learning from is afraid to lose you as a client. They're scared. Oh shit, that guy might ditch me as a client. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And you should find teachers. Find a teacher who you will lose money if they ditch you. My clients, let me tell you something. I don't have to do upsells at my proper trainings. I don't do upsells at my proper trainings. On the third day of my proper training, I will say at one point, who here wants to keep going? If you do, let me know what your thoughts are and your vision for it at the end of the day. 2/3 of people will keep going. Why do you guys think that is? Because they make money off of it, okay? This watch right here, did this cost me anything? No, because I can resell. It's an investment. It doesn't cost me anything. An Apple Watch costs you a couple $100. A proper Rolex, Richard Mille, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, it's free if you bought the right one, the ones that go up in price. If you take the right training, you're making money off the training ideally. You should be looking to get ROI from the fucking training. When Sid trained with me, Sid was already financially free when he trained with me, okay? So he came, he took a bunch of trainings. Later, Sid was on the up and up. This is real. Sid was on the up and up. He was making more and more and more money on a trajectory. What do you think that you were on a trajectory to start making by the time that you would have capped out within, say, 7-8 years?
Tens of millions for sure.
So he was in tens of millions, probably going to get to hundreds of millions in my view. But he said, I'm going to take 5 years and just follow around this weird, goofy motherfucker, because he knew that when he went back into mergers and acquisitions, that he would make 10 times, 20 times the money. Seeing the way that Sid is able to public speak, which, by the way, notice something? If you didn't know that I was the guy, even though Sid's been doing this to me for half a decade, he's won every event for half a fucking decade. That's what you guys don't realize. But if you didn't know that I was the guy, and you thought that I was the protege and Sid was the master, would you actually believe, would you see any gap between me and Sid? No. Any gap at all? No. None. We have a bit of a different style. I do some weird woo-woo spiritual speeches.
The gap is I didn't do the Wes Watson impression.
Yeah, I can do weird impressions, and I can do, and I can do some woo-woo shit, right? But Sid also talks about some very logical, pragmatic business shit that I don't know about. So you would be like, well, who's the master? Who's the protege? Did you guys notice that I was the only guru that you've ever seen where I could hire instructors that were all good like me? Think about this. Do you notice every single instructor that we brought on was fucking amazing? Also, you know who else is amazing? My fucking 11-year-old son is amazing. Why is it that my 11-year-old son can public speak as well as me? My friends can public speak as well as me. And frankly, did you guys see when I had guys stand up and do testimonials yesterday? What did you notice about the public speaking of the people that just stood up from a program? What did you see? They can also public speak. Let me tell you something funny. My accountant, I was driving back with him from Vegas, and I was like, what's your dating life like? And he's like, yeah, it's a little crazy. I said, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, it's been like, 200 or 300 in the past 2 years. I'm like, you're an accountant. You're my accountant.
That's what he's doing. He's counting up the numbers.
Yeah, he's counting up the numbers. I'm like, you're my accountant. He's like, yeah, I just kind of like watching what you do. And, he never even said anything. My lawyers are winning. My goofy HR guys win. My goofy marketers win. My goofy sales managers win. They all win. Everybody around me is winning. Tate, Tate, hilarious. Love the guy to death. So fucking funny, right? You don't want to agree with everything someone says. But whenever they talk about Tate, what do they say? What do you think of Tate? You ever have a friend come up to you and say, what do you think of Tate? What do people ask about me? Do they say, what do you think of Owen? No. They say, did it work? Did it work? Tate helps a lot of people too. But my thing, I'm not here to be the man, to be the best. I don't care about that. I'm here to help you. I want you to have the result. If you learn from me and you didn't get the result, I fucked up. It's not about me coming up here and talking a bunch of shit. It's about other people around me having the result. If my kid, my 11-year-old, he's 12 now, but he was 11 when he first started doing some of the events. If my, at the time, 11-year-old kid can't come up here and run an event as good as I can, I ain't shit. At age 11. If my kid by age 15 to maybe 16, 17 has not made his first $1 million, I ain't shit. $1 million is not a lot of money. You guys think it's a lot of money because you're brainwashed. It's not. I ain't shit. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, so now let's circle this back to the presentation. What am I really ultimately teaching? Now, I was the main pioneer along with Mystery and a couple other people as far as the social skills niche. I was the main pioneer pushing it as well as my mentors. So yeah, I pioneered it. Okay, cool. I pioneered an entire industry. So that was challenging to pioneer it. But now that I've pioneered it, how many replicas are there out there that can teach the same stuff as me? Fuckloads of them. Copycat, copycat, copycat. A lot of people don't even know the history. They think that they're originators. All good, I'm happy about that. I did it because I want other people to copy it. That's why I put it out. That's a success for me. The fact that other people can take my content and put a slight tweak on it and make their own 7 or 8 figure business. I love that. I'm not hating on that. But the difference between me and them that they'll never, ever, ever, ever put in the way that I will is a commitment to the presentation. I have a commitment to the presentation. So when I do a free event, what am I really here doing? Okay, let me ask you a question. How come there's no Grant Cardone free tour? Why is there no Tony Robbins free tour? Why is there no Eckhart Tolle free tour? Because people always want to say, oh, there's a financial incentive that you do a lot of free events. Why do I specifically pick a free event? Free, why?
Polishing the presentation.
I'm here to polish the presentation. So when I'm here, do you guys notice how hard me and Sid go when we're here? You wanna know why? Because we're unpaid. You guys don't get this. When we do a free event, we're unpaid. Me and him are fighting over fucking stage time. Me and Sid sometimes have tense conversations over who gets to come up and work. Do you guys get this? What would be another way of seeing being up here? Oh, it's work. Oh, I want to do less while you do more, right? We fight, we don't mean to never have a fight, but the point is, we mean to have the least fights of any human I've ever been friends with. But the point is we're like, how much you speaking? And he's like, how much you speaking? Right? Like, we want to be up here. But when we're up here in front of you, we go fucking hard. Would you ever imagine someone at a free event would go this hard? Pause and process this. This shit's for free. They say, like, you can't get something for nothing? I mean, we kind of just proved that. How many motherfuckers you see coming here with this kind of fucking energy and this kind of commitment for days and days and days? Like, we gotta do a 1-day free event. Why a 3-day free event? 3 days? 3 days? 3 days? What the fuck are we doing? Here's what we're doing. Did you see how I went 3 days, 3 days, 3 days? The first one was funny. The second one was funny. The third one I went slightly out of pitch. You see that? 3 days? I was kind of like, okay. The first 2 jokes were decent. The last one, I could drop that. That's why I'm doing the free event. It's calibration. It's the same reason I went out every night for 20 years. Why'd I do that? Calibration. We're here to get a skill set. Okay, so in other words, here's what we're doing. When I'm up here, this is not me working. This is me playing polo. You know how rich people, they have expensive hobbies like polo, where they have to pay money to put a horse there, and they pay money for the polo field. They pay like $250,000 a year so they can play polo. The free tour is me and Sid playing polo. It's a very expensive hobby, okay? It's an expensive hobby where we pay money to rent a room, we pay money to fill the fucking thing. But why do we pick free specifically? Because we do paid events. The paid events are hundreds of times better than a free event, probably thousands of times better. But why do we do free events? What are we up here doing? What is this event? Calibration, polish, calibration, presentation. If you're gonna be the motherfucking man, how are you gonna be the fucking man? How are you gonna be the man if you don't put in the time to be the man? So if this is a paid event, I can't do the weird Wes Watson impression, right? Because you're like, okay, this is cool, but I gotta learn. Paid event is like infield, paid event is personal feedback, paid event is exercises. But what me and Sid are doing up here is our exercises. So we pay the way that you may pay, to go on a program. We pay because we pay more than y'all would pay to do the program, to do this. So we pay because we want to learn. So when we're up here, we're fighting over stage time, and we're going balls to the fucking wall, opening up the fucking throttle because we want to get practice in. Why? Because every speaker in the world should have the ambition to be the best speaker in the world. Everybody who goes out and has a social skill set should have the ambition to be the best in the world. Do you know that was the old school community? We all want to be the best in the world. Me and my crew, the old school crew in the community, we competed night in and night out to see who'd be the best, who had the best results. And it wasn't nasty competition like you see in the community these days where people make up lies about each other just flagrantly. It was real competition who actually did better, not just who said they did better on the fucking internet, because we're all in Vegas together and we're seeing who's racking up points on the scoreboard. So we came in there with, like, I see my friends doing better than me. And by the way, it was never about looks. Ever. I was not like, oh, that guy 6 inches taller than me, better looking. He got a better result than me today. It's because of his looks. No, I always competed based on skill. And nobody could outcompete me in the long term. Nobody. It didn't matter if they're taller or better looking. I actually perceive looks as a disadvantage because the enemy, the best of the good, and they would rely a little bit on looks as the driver. I couldn't, so I would actually stick to the correct formats. I would do what works because I didn't have a choice. When you look good, you can kind of deviate off what works, and the looks might be the driver. I didn't have that advantage, so I always had to use the proper drivers. I always had to do what worked. Okay? Now, when you're seeing me speaking like I'm doing up here, what does that come from? Practice, motherfucker. Like Alvin Iverson say, we talk about practice. We talk about practice. Talk about practice. Talk about practice. Now, even when I'm doing that practice thing, I'm using tone to crack you up. I'm monitoring your eyes, and I'm seeing where you're cracking up and where it's too much. And I'm doing this all the time in order to get what? Practice. Practice? Oh, you didn't laugh. Practice? Oh, you didn't laugh. I'm talking about practice. You didn't laugh. You see what I'm doing there? And I'm watching you. So you guys have to understand, you don't actually have to do anything to get a skill set. There's just this box that you drop yourself into, and it gives you the skill set. That's it. If you're just, like me and Sid, we can afford, don't you guys wish that you could afford to just be in front of crowds all the time? To practice your public speaking? But the shit's expensive. It's an expensive ass hobby. So what you guys do have, while you can't always be up here, is you have bars and clubs. All you have to do is drop yourself in the box, and it will do the work for you. If you keep engaging. If you keep engaging. Because your brain will go, derp, derp, derp. I talked to somebody. I didn't get a good response here. I got a better response here. And you'll begin to calibrate. You do that long enough, it's like practicing basketball for 20 years, practicing hockey for 20 years, practicing golf for 20 years. You're going to get good if you have the ability to self-monitor what happened and if you debrief it after. If you have mentors that can point out to you what you're doing wrong so that you have a little bit of context. You have to have mentors. If you have a mastermind group of other people at your level who you can engage with and you can break it down. We would go out every night, and the next day, we would get together and we would debrief what it is that we're doing. Me and Sid will debrief this event. I've already got 15 minutes of notes to my team about yesterday's events. And that's right in the middle of the damn seminar. This week, there'll be hours of notes and discussion about this fucking seminar. Then I will watch the video footage, and then I will see the presentation, and I will adapt from that presentation. Now, somebody who doesn't like my style presentation is like, all that work for this? All that work for this? That's because they're the wrong fucking audience. Okay? You know who I respect, but I don't like? Marianne Williamson. You know Marianne Williamson? She's this like woo-woo teacher, but she looks kind of angry. She's like this high vibe, angry teacher. I don't like her content, but I respect her. Why do I not like her content, but I respect her massively? Why? I ain't the target fucking audience. That ain't for me. I'm not some middle-aged angry lady that wants to be a little more high vibe. An angry middle-aged lady sees Marianne Williamson, who's a little bit less angry than her, and appreciates Marianne Williamson. My name's not Karen, so I'm not a target audience for Marianne Williamson. Okay? But there's a lot of Karens out there that need a little bit of Marianne Williamson. A Karen would look at this event and go, this guy did all this public speaking to become this? Some big bearded, pot-bellied Aspie yelling and imitating Wes Watson penetrating you? That's what the hours in presentation work produced? I want to hear a grumpy Karen talk because it's the wrong audience. The grumpy Karen doesn't want to hear about Wes hitting her head into the table. It's the wrong audience. But for the right audience, that shit's hilarious. For the right audience, that shit's captivating. Look, I like Sadhguru. I'm not a mega fan, but I kind of want a big fat man in a turban and a beard to tell me how to live my life. Don't you? Come on, admit it. You can say you don't. You're lying. You know that if Sadhguru is here right now, big old fat man in the turban and the beard, he just tell you the same old tired ass cliche anybody else tell you. But that fucking turban, that beard, who could resist? Who could resist? I couldn't. I can't. How could you resist? You can't. Who could resist a man in a turban? Imagine that, right? You think I'm on some dumb shit? I'm not. He's sitting there, he's like, hello. I am Sadhguru. I charm a snake. I am snake charmer. I speak to alien. You're like, aliens? Really? You speak to an alien? Yes. Tell me what to do. What did the alien say to? Wouldn't you guys rather learn from a guy that talks so fucking alien? Look, you know who's got amazing presentation? Bashar. You ever seen Bashar?
Oh, now let us continue this transmission by encouraging each and every one of you to become very relaxed.
He closes his eyes. He's like, he's ready for the transmission, right? He's like, okay, I'm Bashar. I'm speaking through Greg, and I think that you should start your business. I think that you should also be a little more confident. I think you should also, I am the alien speaking through Greg, and I think that you should also eat less processed foods. And you're like a fucking alien said it not to put down this fucking spam and eat some fucking grass-fed steak. Then you got this guy in a fucking prison outfit like, bitch, bitch, bitch. You're like, yes, yes. You got the fucking turban guys like, be president. You're like, yes, yes. You got me up here. I'm like, you're gonna fucking approach, motherfucker. You're like, yes, 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 yes. Okay? It's like the WWF of gurus. Okay? That's, okay? You don't want to watch like wrestling is boring. Who wants to watch real wrestlers? When's the last time you watched a real wrestler? Who's gonna watch a real wrestling match? Like two dudes like in tights? I'm not watching that. No, I want to watch like Hulk Hogan. Listen, brother, I'm the motherfucking Hulkster. I'm gonna fucking show you the fucking truth. And Randy Macho Man Savage is gonna go down, and I'm gonna get fucking Elizabeth back, and it's gonna be fucking on. Right? You want to watch that because it's fucking awesome. How could you not watch that? Who could resist? Who could ever resist?
You're doing the transmission of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fucking Hulkster. Then he walks up around you and fucking rips his shirt. Like, ah! Like, how dumb is that? He's like ripping off his own shirt. And he's like, ah. Shit doesn't even make any sense. How does it even make any sense? None of it. It's all trolling. The whole world is trolling you. Look, even Trump, right? You know, he goes up, he's got his little fucking suit on, and then he's got 2 America flags behind him. He's got the America song playing, America First, all kind of, he's like, all right, will make America great again. We will commit against the communists, against the bad guys, against the fucking left. We will make America great again. Ah! 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 Now vote. Okay? He now fucking vote, right? He's like, we're gonna win, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna win. And you're gonna say, President Trump, I can't handle it. I can't handle winning. I can't keep winning. And I will smack you, and I will say, we will keep winning. We will keep winning. We will win in China. We will win in Mexico. We will win in the streets. We will win in the vision. We will make America great again. Ah! Right now, vote. The guy's just like on he's just like on some fucking goofy ass reality channel. Like he's like, I'm the apprentice picker. You're fired. I'm president now. You know, the guy's got like gold banisters and his thing's all made of gold. He's got gold sneakers now. They're awesome. I want them. Yeah. Okay, he's got gold. Everything's gold, right? He's like what a derper thinks a millionaire is. Right? Trump is what a derper thinks a millionaire is. Right? Like a derper in middle America is like, what would I do if I had $1 million, right? Like 1 million, right? Everything would be made of gold. Gold everywhere, gold. I would print my name on every building. Right? My name would be on all the buildings and everything is printed with gold and you have the gold razor. You know the best thing about Trump? He eats McDonald's. He uses Old Spice deodorant and he has a gold razor. Stormy Daniels talked about that when she went as bathroom kid. So, right? So it's what people think a millionaire is. It's feeding the stereotype of what people think a millionaire is. It's like a magician, right? It's what people think a magician is, like this mystical guy. What do you, look at Sadhguru. What's Sadhguru? It's what people think some Eastern guru is. Yeah. I could totally pull it off. Please, 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 please. You know that if I put in my head right now, I'm gonna become an Eastern guru. Oh my God, I'd kill that shit. I will kill that shit. Can you guys imagine me as like the next Eckhart Tolle? I was in his seminar one day and I was imitating Wes Watson and then I had an epiphany. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I became enlightened. The vortex opened up. The vortex opened up. And I saw the now. And now instead of my weird ass presentation, I just stare. I don't give content anymore. I just stare now. Do you guys know there's gurus that literally just give you a hug and that's all they do? Hells yeah, there's gurus that give you a hug, that's all they do. Do you know there's gurus that will like, what's that one that Ken does? She tells you your, some other, whatever shit. He's got this guru he pays $1,000 to, he just like tells him some shit, right? So it's like, it's in the present.
She goes into the vortex and transmits some information and gives it to him.
Yeah, it's like a vortex transmission, right? Okay, as much as that might be some goofy ass shit, you know you want it. Shut the fuck up. You know you want the vortex transmission. I will enter the vortex. I will give you the transmission.
Everybody wants to be told who they are, what they should be doing.
Yeah, who am I? What should I be doing? What is the truth? I go into the vortex. I'm talking to the Bashar alien. The Bashar alien says, finish your undergrad. That's right, the alien spirits have conspired and come to the earth in order for you to have your narcissistic needs met. And it has said, finish your undergraduate degree in accounting because you are the center of the universe and highly important. The alien species cares about you. It's watching you. You are the center of this intergalactic movie. The intergalactic aliens are watching you because you're that important. You watching Joe Rogan the other day, interested in the intergalactic aliens. They're curious your thoughts on his podcast. He thought it was quite interesting when you played racquetball. They're watching from the other dimension. You're on your ascendant path to enlightenment. Now take the DMT. You see where I'm going with this? This is messaging. This is effective messaging. Guys, a lot of people will say that my old business, it's like, oh, you know, guys kind of want what you sell, so that's why they ate it with a spoon. Try to get any of your fucking friends to go meet random people. How hard is that? Do you know how hard it was for me to get people to actually pick their fucking nuts up and put themselves out there? Do you understand how hard that was? The guys that teach it now, all they teach is to fucking complain for the most part. I like them. I like these guys. But mostly what they teach is, you don't have a chance, it's too fucking hard, if I can complain, right? I had to get a generation to put themselves out there. I had to convince people to do that. That takes the ability to be a leader and a hell of a lot of presentation skills. I was able to get people to commit to 4 or 5 hours a night of practicing something I was telling them to practice and made that into a holy mission from God, okay? You've got to make it into a holy mission from above. When Wes Watson is banging your head in the table, bitch, 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 you are completely consumed in a cult of one to absolutely go become a millionaire. There is no chance that you're not going to become a millionaire if that guy's fucking laying into you like that. You know why? Because you're riding off the peloton of the energy that he's creating. What am I doing here? I'm generating energy. Yeah, this might be some goofy ass self-help guru bullshit, but is it giving you energy? Is it getting you thinking about presentation? Am I holding your attention for several hours? Can I hold your attention for several days? Can I motivate you and inspire you to do things that you wouldn't normally do? That takes presentation. But in the same way that I might present to an audience, small crowd like today, big crowds like we sometimes do, or one individual at a bar club. One individual. One. The ability to connect, the ability to engage, the ability to lead, the ability to hold attention, the ability to get in someone's mind, the ability to show them a path forward, the ability to move the world. That's a skill set. That's $1 million skill set. So yeah, you know, me and Sid are lucky. We get to practice that in front of audiences. If you guys come on trainings, we'll practice that in front of the audience of the training. But where you have an audience is out in public gatherings. And that's why people that are afraid to work on their social skills are really missing out. They really are. Because the same skills that you use to motivate yourself, or the same skills that you use when you're out, you can use to make sales. Why? Because you're leading. By the way, this is the missing piece of where all the sales gurus can never get the kind of sales that I could get. Never. They'll teach you everything about sales. Eliciting objections, conquering objections, how to present it, pain points, all that. They will never sell like I sell. And by the way, I know all the sales formats cold and use many of them. I'm not downplaying them. You should learn them. But what's the missing piece that I have that they don't? Presentation. And you want to know why the sales gurus won't teach presentation? Because it's too hard. It's too fucking hard. It takes too much time. It's too hard. And they don't know how to teach it. It's the same reason that the new podcasts that complain all day won't teach you properly how to put yourself out there. It's too hard. They don't even know how to do it. They haven't even put in the time to do it. So most sales coaches don't have proper presentation skills. The top sales trainer in the world, I had to coach on how to do presentation. He's a lot better now. I won't give his name, but I had to coach him on that. And he got better at his presentation. But he was the top sales trainer in the world, but I had to coach him on presentation. He went from 3 million when I started coaching him to 30 million within a year. True. A lot of people know who this is. And then, anyone here know, don't say the name, but anyone know who I'm talking about? Anyone here know? Okay, maybe. Some of you guys here might know. And then he went to, I believe, 90 million a year. Because how could you not? How could you not? How much have I hijacked your attention in this hour? I'm playing you like a musical instrument. Right? It's an instrument. So you've got to learn how to use your instrument. My dating life has not changed a shred since I had my little ski accident. I'll be walking soon enough. But my dating life didn't change. Why didn't my dating life change even though I go to bars and clubs and have to push through people like, hey, and then hi. Why didn't it change?
You adapted.
Because I was never meeting people based on my looks. How was I meeting people? Presentation. Is this any different? Do you guys care if I'm in a wheelchair or standing when I'm doing this?
Nope.
Neither do they. Neither do they.